Are you looking to earn your Destiny 2 Festival of Lost armor ornament sets? I know this has a tendency to be called the Festival of the Cost, but I want to earn my gear. So I want to show you how I make every Destiny 2 seasonal event a looter shooter event. If you're new here, I'm Legolit Flash, and I'm usually stacking damage numbers to pull off insane feats in the Crucible or PvE, but today, we're stacking currencies to pull off some insane Eververse purchasing. This topic was kind of important for me because I'm still having fun with the event and earning my gear, and I wanted to show y'all how I did it. I don't want this to be perceived as I don't like supporting Bungie at all, because I do like buying all the season passes they come out with, getting involved with some of their fundraisers. However, I do enjoy Destiny 2 the most when I can play the game to earn the new gear that gets added to it. And I wanted to make this guide to show you how to earn it too. Okay, here's how I do it for events. As most of you have guessed, we're looking for Bright Dust to buy the sets for 6,000 before the event ends. But I hope this guide is helpful, as I'm going to stay away from things like the seasonal challenges and Bright Dust from the season pass tracks. I feel like those are the first things people will tell you when you're trying to figure out how to gather up 6,000 Bright Dust to get a free armor set, but the problem, at least for me, is that most of the time I have already been grabbing the Bright Dust from the season pass tracks or the seasonal challenges as I complete them and rank up. So I'm going to present some other avenues, and even if you do know about them, I think by the time I add them all up, you may be thinking, hey, I actually might grind some of this out and get a free mech set for my alt character after all. So first and most obvious, since it comes with the event, is the weekly bounties from Eva. You get 2 per character per week. Each one gives 200 Bright Dust. These bounties are relatively easy to complete and so far involve the Haunted Lost sectors themselves. So you'll probably get some of that sweet event gear while you're grinding them out. If you do both on all 3 characters, which I see no reason for you not to, this comes out to 1,200 Bright Dust a week. If you do them for all 3 weeks of the event, this comes out to a total of 3,600 Bright Dust. That's a good bit over half a mech armor set. Okay, let's keep going. Now we'll get into a bit more of the forgotten territory. The weekly ritual challenges. No, I'm not talking about the ritual pinnacle challenges. It's easy to get these confused, or forget that the Bright Dust ones actually exist. There is a weekly ritual challenge for every core playlist in Destiny 2, Gambit, Crucible, and Strikes, that will reward 120 Bright Dust per completion. These weekly ritual challenges are the same every week and just require you to complete 8 daily bounties to receive your reward. For completing them, I highly suggest downloading the official Destiny 2 app on your phone, which lets you grab bounties when you're in orbit. This will save a significant amount of time. Just back out after you complete your Gambit match, Crucible game, or Strike instead of waiting for the in-screen timer to run out. And then, while you're in orbit, grab the bounties from your phone and load back in. You can start loading back into a match immediately if you just need 1 or 2 bounties. Usually they add them before you start loading into the activity. But just remember that you cannot get them once you start flying in and the matchmaking at the bottom of the screen completes. So that's why I recommend going to orbit after every activity while completing these weekly ritual bounty challenges. You won't get them from your phone if you're already flying in. So let's add this up. 120 Bright Dust times 3, since you can do it from Gambit, Crucible, and Strikes, that's 360. 360 times 3 for your 3 characters, and that's 1,080 Bright Dust in 1 week. You'll have to do 9 weekly ritual challenges, but if you do that every week, you'll get another 3,240 Bright Dust by the end of the event. So this is looking better, since when we add that on top of our weekly event bounties, we're now at 6,840 by the time Festival of the Lost ends. That's at least 1 free armor set. That's great, but we're not done yet. We kind of did an unrealistic look at the weekly ritual challenges, but in the best way possible. See, we were just adding our Bright Dust from the challenge itself, but to do those challenges, you have to complete daily bounties. The daily bounties that are not repeatable only reward experience, but the daily bounties that are repeatable give 10 Bright Dust per completion. This doesn't seem like much, but you're completing these anyways just to get the weekly ritual challenges done. So let's assume that while you're getting those done, you do at least half of them as the repeatable bounties that give you Bright Dust. That tends to be the case. That adds 40 Bright Dust to every weekly ritual challenge you do. So now the total is 160 per challenge instead of the 120 we were talking about earlier. So if you do all 3, Gambit, Crucible, and Strike Bounty Ritual Challenge on every character, it would be 9 times 160, which equals 1,440, which puts us at a new, more accurate total of 4,320 for just doing weekly ritual challenges on all 3 characters. Let's add that number to the number from the weekly Festival of the Lost bounties. Remember, that was 3,600 if we did it every week on all 3 characters. And now we're at a total of 7,920 total Bright Dust. So if you want another armor ornament set from the event, you'll need to scrounge around for about 4,000 more Bright Dust. This is when I'd suggest trying to complete those seasonal challenges if you have any left in your quest tab. They award anything from 75 to 350 depending on what Bungie has set that challenge at. Then you can also grab anything from your seasonal rank track that you may have missed. In total, if you just did the free pass, there's 7,500 Bright Dust in total to pull from there, and if you paid for your season pass, there is about 3,000 more Bright Dust to grab from that. Now there is one tricky thing with the seasonal challenges. There is the 4,000 Bright Dust package you can get for completing nearly all your seasonal challenges. If you're keeping up with them, you should be able to complete this by the last week of the event, but I'm not sure that you should use it all here. Here's why. Unless you just love the Mech armor sets, you might want to save that Bright Dust for the armor sets coming during the Dawning Winter event. They always have some really amazing sets during that event. Last year seriously knocked it out of the park, and you definitely won't be able to complete next season's big 4,000 Bright Dust challenge by the time the Dawning is finished. They just won't all be available. At least, I'm pretty sure it won't be possible. All that to say, you may want to sit on some Bright Dust if you want to save some for the Dawning. Back to Festival of the Lost. Hopefully, through all these methods, you'll have enough for your second Mech armor set. There is the option of grinding out daily bounties for Bright Dust, but they have become just so tedious to complete. They used to be much more relaxed, and on top of that, for some Destiny 2 events, they would combine the daily festival bounties that give Bright Dust with something to do in one of the ritual activities. This would let you double stack bounties for the same activity, so you could pick up to 10 repeatable bounties that were all for the Crucible at the same time. That would let you knock out like 70 Bright Dust in one game or strike, and that wasn't bad, but the Festival of the Lost has its event daily bounties tied to the Haunted Lost sectors, so there isn't really any bounty stacking available. Kind of unfortunate if you want to grind stuff out, it's half the speed as other events. But I hope this guide helped you see what was possible to acquire by the end of Festival of the Lost without using any silver. I hope y'all enjoy this very different breakdown on how to keep Destiny 2 events like Festival of the Lost feeling very looter-shooter still. Just a reminder on that math, you can get almost an armor ornament set and a half without even touching the season pass Bright Dust or the seasonal challenges. Good luck chasing that gear. Until next time, GG.